Welcome to episode 1 of What You Don't Know About Florida Real Estate. Welcome everyone. My name is Mike Rennick. I'm the senior broker, the team lead with Team Rennick Real Estate Services, part of that great Keller Williams on the Water family. My partner in this series is...
I'm Michael Hankin. I'm a board certified real estate attorney here in Sarasota, Florida.
Welcome. Good to have you again.
Thanks,
I
Mike.
appreciate your help on these. So last week we did our introductory clip. So this is really the first formal, our episode 1. We want to talk about not all agents are created equal. And what we mean by that, Mike, is what?
So in Florida, the default type of legal relationship you have with your brokerage is known as a transaction brokerage. That means that your agent is working to get a deal done, which is a fine way to have a relationship. It is the standard default relationship in Florida. But my belief is that it can be done better. It can be elevated to what the law describes as a single agent relationship. And the primary difference between these two types of relationships are the duties of loyalty. The law, unfortunately, doesn't by default impose a duty of loyalty. So often people say, my agent, and they believe that the agent is legally obligated to work in that person's best interest.
But they're not.
But they're not, right.
So a single agent versus transaction broker is the issue. A single agent actually has a fiduciary responsibility to the client, which means they have to behave in the best interest. A transaction broker does not. A single agent, let me summarize it this way, and correct me if I'm wrong, has a higher standard of behavior overall. They're required to perform at a higher level.
Exactly. They're required to really work for their client's best interest. They, if they're a listing agent, need to work to get their client the best price, where a transaction agent is only obligated to try to get the property under contract.
So is this correct? A single agent reports to the client, whether it's the buyer or seller. A transaction broker or transaction agent reports to their broker.
I would say yes.
So,
yes, that's another way to say it, absolutely.
At Team Rennick, both Eric and I have elected to become single agents to be held to that higher standard. So what Mike has just shared is the legal differences. Here's where I have a problem with this. Not everyone is required to disclose. So in Florida, a transaction broker, great people, but a different level of performance, are not required to tell their buyers or sellers that they're a transaction broker. Single agents are. In fairness of doing business the right way, shouldn't everyone be required to have this conversation with you? Shouldn't everyone be required to disclose there's differences in the kind of agents that you hire? I feel strongly that they should. Mike, what's your thoughts?
I do. I really believe that this is an area where the law is lacking. People's understanding when they hire an agent to work for them is that they're their agent and that they're working for their best interest. But there's no disclosure that lets them know that they're not. Anywhere else in your business life, you hire somebody and they work for you. They're loyal to you. They have those duties imposed on them under the law. But for some reason, our legislature has not decided that that relationship's important in real estate.
And personally, I'm okay with the two different levels. I'm not okay with the fact that everyone doesn't have to disclose.
I agree. So if we are going to have this difference between what people expect, which is that the agent they hire works for them, and what the law requires, we should at a minimum have a requirement for a disclosure so people know.
So if an agent doesn't have this conversation with you, they're a transaction broker. If your agent does have this conversation, because they're required to disclose, they're a single agent.
There is, and it's funny, the law actually requires that if you decide to transition to a single agent, then the disclosure is required. So only when your client gets the extra benefits are they obligated or entitled to receive the notice of receiving those extra benefits, which it's a little bit of an oxymoron. You only know that you're receiving the benefits when you get the notice saying you've received the benefits, but you only got them because you probably knew to ask for them, which...
Most folks don't.
Right.
So the question that we have for you is, which agent is right for you? One that reports, works for you, and has a fiduciary to behave in your best interest, or an agent that really reports to their broker? That's a question that only you can decide. If you need more information, if you would like more information, feel free to reach out to either one of us. Our contact information will be on the screen as I share this, and we'd be happy to have this discussion with you. But this is all part of educating consumers and other agents so that you can make the best decision, what's right for you. We've shared our opinion, but what's yours? That's what really matters. Michael, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you being here, and we'll be back again next week.
We'll see you then.
Thanks, Mike. Take care. Thanks for watching.